Wagwan, everybody. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's an social production. That's right. We're doing it on May the 23rd, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you're tuning in from Canada, so the Wagwans, down south in the United States, as per usual, further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia's, over there in Scotland, over there in Ivory Coast, over there in Bangladesh, over there and all around the world, really. The Portuguese people, let's not ever forget the pork and cheese people. The Greeks, my beautiful Greek people, my Roman Grecos, with the beautiful the hair and the turquoise blue waters and the tits too. Let's not forget that. Wherever you're tuning in from, I hope you're having a great week. We are coming in. It's the end of the week, almost the end of the month. It feels, man, oh man, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good. Hope you're all feeling all right. I'm feeling good too. So. Lots to discuss, lots of fun to be had. Let us get a sip of this bad boy right here. It's delicioso. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure many of you are wondering again, if it's your first time, you're like, what is this? You can just jump in anytime you like. Today could be the first day you could join it. You're like, there's many episodes behind me should I go back and start from the beginning? You could watch from the beginning, or you could watch from just starting now, because this train is that we keep adding tracks to this train track, and it's ongoing, baby. It's ongoing till the wheels fall off. Promise made, promise kept. So yes, it's a show about everything and nothing really, and I'm just a man that doesn't know much about anything, but trying to make sense of it all and figure things out, whatever those things are, and we don't even really figure things. We just have fun around. This is a fun little shooting the shit podcast with your boy. But nonetheless, and we cover many topics, and we'll get into it today again. If it's your first time, kind of get a hang of things. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. Fucking, homeboys and homegals, my dogs out there holding it down. Many of you are thinking it's an issue that impacts half the population. We're here to tackle it together. I'm talking about periods, of course. We're never going to stop talking about periods. And what to do with those bloody tampons. I've thought about this hard and long, and I came up with a whole new way of dealing with these bloody tampons so that we reuse, recycle. It's very important that we reuse and recycle. So if you are a lady and you got that bloody tampon, it's that time of the month, year, it happens a lot. 12 times a year, 1 week every month, give or take. You've got a lot of bloody tampons, and you're just tossing them out in the trash can. God knows what you're doing with them. But here's the thing: men don't have access to bloody tampons. A lot of times, when some women are ovulating and or menstruating, other women are not ovulating and menstruating either. So just because you're having your period doesn't mean other women have access to periods right in this moment as well. And let us not forget, blood has it can serve many things. Let's just put it that way. And I'm just thinking to myself, just because some piece of cloth, some piece of sanitary cloth, a tampon or a pad is bloodied up, doesn't mean you need to get rid of it immediately. Think of other instances where you could use a bloody tampon or just blood in general. And that's when I ask myself, what are the other times that people do need some little bit of blood? It could happen to anybody. You're outside walking with your homies. You are maybe with a loved one. Group of thugs attack you out of the blue. Oh no, group of thugs attacking. First and foremost, what you want to do is immediately grab that used tampon, turn around, turn your back to the gang of hooligans, the gang bangers, the group of thugs. Grab that used tampon. Pretend you're punching yourself in the face. You want to look local. But meanwhile, while you're giving yourself a soft punch, also grab that tampon with the other hand. Just smear it all over your face, and then turn around really, we're ready to throw down. Once they see you having punched yourself and given yourself some blood on your face, they'll realize, this guy or this gal is not somebody to be messed with. And then chances of them running in the opposite direction is increasing, like at least 10x. We've looked at at least 10x what the research says. Might also induce a sense of like savagery. It might also induce a sense of, you know, animalistic instincts. They might see the blood and be like, oh, we see blood in the water, let's go. It might also have that effect. 9 out of 10 times it will turn around and walk away. One out of 10 we will leave them, because we don't want to, you know, we're not going to take responsibility for that one gang of hooligans or thugs who gets rowdy by the sight of blood and just wants to fucking pounce. But nonetheless, one item, that's one area where you could use bloody tampons and not just toss it in the trash can like yesterday's news, and get a little bit of more use out of these bloody tampons. Other instances where you might, you know, sometimes you might be like, oh man, I wish I could get out of work. I'm telling you right now, if you're female, always use that bloody tampon and just smear it all over yourself while you're at work. Once people see that there's blood on your shirt or your face or your chest or your hands, they'll say, hey, Lucy, hey there, Lucy, maybe you want to maybe take the day off. They're not even going to ask where the blood came from. You're a lady, you're bleeding, they'll just give you the day off. Men, you are going to have to resort. This is where the teamwork comes. This is where the sexes are working together. You are going to have to find somebody at work who's willing to donate, or you could buy it off them too. You know, you could buy them, maybe not even pay directly, but you could buy them coffee. You could buy them lunch. Buy somebody, Suzanne in accounting, bleeding right now. And just, you know, she might need an extra cup of coffee from Starbucks today just to get her through. Buy that Starbucks coffee, get that bloody tampon. You too could smear blood from the bloody tampon on yourself and take a half day off. Go home, have lunch at home by simply smearing a little bit of blood on your face, and have a little chat with your manager and be like, I just fell face first because we were just vaxing the floors in the office, right? Sorry about it. There's a lot of work to be done, but I guess I'll be staying in overtime today. And your manager, if he is smart, if he's thinking long, he doesn't want the company to get sued, he'd be like, hey, you know what, John, just take the day off. Take the if you need a couple of days because you fell and hit your head on the floor, just take a few days off. This company's not all about monies and stats, you know, and ironically it's a stats and money company, but that's nonetheless, you can go home using that extra blood from that bloody tampon. If you're out there doing sports activities and you want to impress your friends, I'm telling you right now, going the extra mile on the field is always a way to do it. Jumping a little bit extra higher, tackling a little bit stronger or a little bit harder. Bending and flexibility is always something to be aspired to have more of. I guess is aspiring to have more of flexibility and agility as well. Let's not forget that one. But in the middle of the game, it wouldn't hurt you to just take a used tampon which you've placed in your socks, take it out and just smear it all over your torso or something, just so when the next time you go down on a tackle, it looks like you're really, really going for it. Happen to scrape your knee, smear a little bit of tampon blood on your knee and have the ladies go wild, fellas. Whatever game you're playing, whether it's football, whether it's badminton, and we know how dangerous badminton can be. I'm telling you right now, next time you take a dive to hit that birdie, did you just scrape your elbow? No, I'm severely bleeding from my elbow, but I'll be fine. I'll walk it off. And guess what? Everybody will think, oh, what a brave, strong fella or lady, because he or she is bleeding from their elbow and still staying in to play the game. So these are just some ways where you can use the bloody tampon. Don't just toss it out. Don't be so fast and loose with your, getting rid of it. We're living in that culture where just get rid of it. There's going to be a new one out there. Just get another use out of it. Get a couple of uses before the blood dries at least. And even if the blood dries and you want to use it, you could, tell you right now, put that bloody tampon in a bottle of water, shake it around if it's dried, and it will just loosen up whatever blood clot was already dried up on that used tampon. And you can use that bloody water to, again, spill it all over yourself and really make a scene. And that's one of the best ways. And again, speaking of scenes, if you are in the movie industry, coming across blood is probably difficult. It's not easy to just go get fake blood. And if you want to put that fake shit in the movies and tell people it's fucking real blood, people know what's up. People know what's up. But guess what? If you use, or rather reuse, used tampons, you can actually get a lot of real blood and make the movies and shows and the scenes look more realistic by smearing period blood all over the actors. And actors love it. Actors love it, from what I hear. because people want to fucking get into the role. They really want to dedicate themselves. Feel it, feel every movement, and whatever you're wearing becomes you. You are. If you're bleeding for reals, then it's portrayed that way in the scene. Where if it's fake blood, then people know it's not real blood. But again, use that extra bloody used tampon several times before you just toss it out into the trash. Just something that we've all been thinking about, and I thought I'd cover it today with, if I may, and thank you for joining me once again. What else is going on? Lots of stuff is happening in and around the world. I believe there was the Cannes festival the Cannes was happening, where celebrities show up to. I don't know what the Cannes are. I have a rough idea. I think it's celebration of actors and actresses and people in high levels of art get together and celebrate Cannes. Jugs, tits. I think there's, which I'm not a fan of, celebrity or fame or anything like that. But if it's for a good cause, I get it. So I'm in support of that. If they were going out there to support titties, breast assists, nipples in general, then I am for it. A lot of actors showed up, and I didn't catch much of it except one point where it struck out to me personally speaking, because one of my favorite actors happened to be there, Denzel Washington. I believe he was there to show support for tits, as they do. Because again, it's the Cannes. I don't know if they call it a festival or it's a gala. I don't even really understand what a gala is, to be honest with you. I think it's like it's like a party. I think, I'm not sure, to be honest, but sounds fancier. But nonetheless, this was a or maybe it was a Cannes gala festival. The Cannes festival. Sounds right when you say festival for some reason. But nonetheless, it's about tits, it's about cleavage, raising awareness, how we could all be speaking more about tits and cleavage. I, for one, I'm a huge fan of tits and cleavage. I want to give my support, despite the fact that I wasn't there in person. I do want to, morally, spiritually, I do want to be there and support as much as I can. I've always been a fan of tits and cans and cleavage. As I've said it before, I'll say it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The cleavage is one of the 5 top pillars of society. It's the glue that really holds us together. We all come from cleavage. We will go back to cleavage as well. It's not just a place where you could kind of like, slide your fingers in between, just kind of, because there's not many things in life, whether in nature or man-made, where you could just slide your hand right in between and it's covers both sides of your hand. There's not many things which you can stick your face in and really motorboat. There's not much. It's pretty much tits has the motorboat industry on lockdown, but not that we're happy because they've been doing a fine job. Tits are one of those things that there's like, if you like one, you'll probably like the other one as well. And there's 2 of them, which makes it great. Tits and cans. There's so many different kinds of cans. If I may take a moment there's small cans with small nips. There's small cans with medium-sized nips, and then there's small cans with large-sized nips, or areolas, as we say in the industry. Of course, I don't want to get over and ahead of myself. Like, I know everything there is to know about kids. There's so much more we can. It's all about raising awareness. We can all learn more about cans and tits, and jugs, and breast assists and dairy. There's medium-sized cans, of course, with small nipples. There's medium-sized cans with medium-sized nipples, and then there's medium-sized cans with large areolas as well. And of course, then and this is just a wide category, but this is just for all of us who want to refresh our memories. And then you have the large tits with small nips, and you have large tits with medium-sized areolas, and you also have large tits with large areolas. And again, the sizes vary. Are there extra small nips, extra small tits? Of course. Are there extra large areolas and extra large tits? Yes. Are there extra large areolas, extra small tits? Does the tit entirely get covered by the areolas, and it's a whole, again, this is not something you just want to jump into. I consider myself just a student of the game, really, a connoisseur, if you will, someone who appreciates a good tit. So I'm in support of the cans. I'm fully aware of it. I found out about it since I was very young, of course. Started off domestically, then of course I went ahead, like many people do. I try to really, just take flight on my own, expand my horizon and spread my wings, and try to acquire more knowledge about cans and tits. So I've been doing my part as much as any man can do. Of course, there's more to be done. So yes, lick 'em, suck 'em, squeeze 'em, all for it. Put them in a bra, set them free, burn the bras, however you want to support the cans, I'm all here for it. But of course, this isn't about me, but I just want to say that again, if you guys need any support in terms of, even if I see somebody having difficulty with their cans, just say, hey, can somebody give me a hand here, hold up a tit for a second? Oh, I'm there. If you need if you need a shoulder for a tit to cry on, just leave it on my shoulder and lactate away, sister. That's what I've been saying since '89, really. But again, this isn't about me. This is about tits. And Denzel Washington, of course, had a moment with one of the photographers there. I believe somebody was trying to grab some photos of Denzel, and there was a little bit of miscommunication. I don't know exactly what happened. There was a little bit of lip reading. We did get the tape in, and we did get the lip reading recording back. And this is apparently the photographer was keen on getting Denzel, but Denzel was so focused on celebrating once again cans, and also I guess his love of gladyamadeit. He went like this, because the photographer was like, more photos of you, more photos, Mr. Washington, more photos of you. And he went like, no, this isn't about, if he did the lip reading correctly, you could see, no, this isn't about me, stop it, this isn't about me, Denzel said. We should be talking about gladyamadeit and tits. Today's about tits and gladyamadeit. Have you checked out it? Do you even know what you're doing? And and the cameraman was still smiling, trying to, stay, I guess, as professional as possible. But again, it's really, I appreciate it, the fans appreciate it, of course, and yes, there are bigger things than just taking a photo everywhere, whatever. So there's bigger things that we need to be discussing and putting our concentration on, and really raising awareness as much as. So Denzel was doing is stop it. Go check out a gladyamadeit episode. He did that, and he said that again. These are just lip readings. But all in all, the event went well. And again, it's for celebrating tits, and we're all for it. So please go ahead and squeeze a tit today, and just let them know that you are in full support of them as well. Ladies and gents. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe there was just, 50-hour festival. This one was a real festival. The Wire Festival went down. It's a relatively newer festival. I believe it's celebrating techno music, which emerged from the US, but then went over to the Euros and elsewhere in the world as well. And the Wire Festival is a way to kind of bring the techno back. And I like all sorts of music. But the festival itself, I read about it in a newspaper article. It went on for 50 hours, which is a lot of just consecutive partying for 50 hours. I thought to myself, if people might need a little bit of assistance in terms of how do you even party for 50 hours straight, whether it's a techno festival or a food festival or any sort of party. Really, the time limit is the thing that really caught my attention. 50, I didn't even know what Wire. I thought they were celebrating wires and just but it's about music. But nonetheless, the key takeaway is that 50 hours of partying nonstop. How do you do it? First and foremost, it's come and gone, I believe. Maybe it's still going. I'm not sure how long the festival might still even be going. I don't know. But nonetheless, if you're planning on partying for 50 hours straight, key things you want to just remember: always stay hydrated. Take lots of water with you. Hydration is 50 hours is a lot. It's more than 2 days. It's just over 2 days. So let's just say 2 days is straight up party. Take lots of water. Do not fall asleep, because again, it's 50 hours. No breaks, nonstop. It's if you don't party for 50 hours straight, you will be taken out to the back area, and we don't want to do that to people, because if you do go to the back area, then you might not just come back again. What happens to the bodies, we're not gonna dwell on that too much, but let's just say if you're gonna party for 50 hours, we want you to be there from the beginning till the end. So do not, caffeine is your friend, but again, these are just minor things. Hydration, caffeine. I would suggest you are at a music festival and it's techno. I'm assuming you are going to be going there with some sort of, you know, a little bit of extra pep in your step. You're probably consuming some other substances as well. So whatever you normally consume, if it's like a regular party, an evening, or just a weekend party thing that you do, amp up the usage by 10x. You should be amping it up, because again, this is 50 hours. You're like, what if I pass out? What if my heart stops? Then you're doing it right. You're like, should I be taking breaks and limiting myself and giving my, you know, pacing myself? Never pace yourself. You want to go just all gas, no break from the beginning till the end, until you eventually, if your heart stops, no, that's one of the best ways that people always say, I want to, you know, I don't even know, you know, life has a beginning and an end, and I just hope I don't suffer for long and go out on a party. And guess what? The Wire Festival is a big party. Push your limit, test yourself. There is, of course, you could have cardiac arrest, but that, again, you did the party right. If you continue to go at it nonstop, again, and if you're like, oh, I'm catching myself, being short of breath, water, caffeine, more substances, drugs, whatever it is that you do, more of it. Really hold on to, if you see yourself like kind of going dizzy and are about to fall, plenty of people around, just kind of like hang with people. You could kind of slump over on people, and people will be like, oh, I remember that guy who's, slumpy over there. We partied for 50 hours, slumpy over there. You might even have a stroke, but continue to party on. If half your face goes numb, that means you are partying properly. You're like, what if I'm pregnant? Is it safe for me to, party for 50 hours straight? If you're pregnant and you're not partying for 50 hours straight, think of, because they say babies, despite, after a certain time, I'm not quite sure what that time is, but nonetheless, once the fetus really starts to develop and whatnot, after 6 months, I would say at least, 3 months, 4 month pregnant with a baby in your belly, they listen to music, they like the music, and they turn out, to be better with music or something. I don't know the exact relations, to be honest with you. They might make musical instruments. So exposure is key, and this is like 50 hours. You're like, what if it's too much? What if it's too much for the baby? And if the baby falls out of my vag because it's just been overstimulated, then that was not a baby you wanted to keep in the first place. That was a weak baby, and it was not able to party the way mommy wants to fucking party. You know what I mean? That's a downer baby. That's a lame baby. So push yourself, push your limits. What if you're elderly? You're like, oh, this festival is for everyone. Is it safer? Of course it's safe. Should you party for 50 hours straight, even if you're elderly? Again, just think of the time when you were young and consuming, again, keeping lots of water because you want to keep hydrated, caffeine in your body, drugs. Think about the drugs you used to consume when you were younger, and even if you didn't, because now you're older, 20x the amount of the drugs, because you're older, you're going to need more to get you just kind of like, mid, just at a, so raise whatever dosage you see the youngins doing, 20x that dosage, and you should be completely okay. And again, this was a wonderful festival. It happened in New York. One day, maybe I'd like to experience the Wire Festival. We could push it to 100 hours. Let's just fucking go for 100 hours. Why not? DJs coming in from all around the world, fucking spinning tracks, and it's a whole lot of fun, a lot of lasers, a lot of bumping and grinding, a lot of just smell of just oozing sex, really. The air is filled with sex, and that's not something you can put a price on. So push yourself, have fun, and fucking let's rock and roll, or let's techno as well. Ladies and gentlemen. I believe a Pennsylvania woman was recently making the news for having taken a deuce on somebody's car. It was dubbed an act of road rage. Shitting on cars is not something people normally do, but because that's not something people normally do, even an act of road rage, I would say I'm not a big fan of feces in terms of just on top of cars in general, but in terms of if we were to just close in and zoom in for a second, it is a creative act of road rage, because most often if people do, you might wave a fist. You might, if somebody goes by, cuts you off, you might even yell something, you might, press the honk. It's all, typical things. Of course, there's moments of, heightened aggravation as well. You've seen that things happen. But feces on the car is creative. So in terms of, it's showing the finger at somebody on the highway. It's been done. So this is new, relatively new, despite the fact that we've had the technology of both the car and fecal matter, but we've never really merged it in terms of, let me, show a little bit of road rage. So in terms of, for creativity, I give it a high score. It's up there. It's an 8 at least. It makes an 8 at least, 8, 9. It's not a perfect 10 because it's hard to give out perfect 10s. But it is nice, and it's aggro, but it's also not, because it's not like, there's no physical there's no classic physical sense of, oh, am I in danger? No, unless they carry some sort of like wild, maybe they've spent some time in a wet market, or a lab that creates diseases and viruses. Maybe it's, who knows, game of function, the lab member or scientist. So you don't know what their fecal matter might contain, but just average fecal matter, just regular deuce. Again, in terms of creativity, it's pretty cool. And the fact that a lady does it, it's very it's not late. It's not, this activity, fecal activity is typically not associated with females. Again, for her to have to step out and do something a little bit extraordinary, it does a lot for me in terms of creativity. So I do like that aspect. Now, what part of the car was it on? I'm not quite sure. The hood would make great sense, because like if you really get onto it, was she facing the driver? Like, was the driver in the car at the time of the releasing of the fecal matter? Were they out of the car? I don't know the details. Did they face the public while squatting? Did she even squat? Did she kind of like, stand aside, raise it? Like, these are all the questions that everyone's trying to figure out and get to the bottom of. Of course, it's hard to come to if you're not physically there, it's really hard to tell. But nonetheless, merging the two technologies, which again is fecal matter and cars, and sprinkle a little bit of road rage into it. Again, we're not a fan of road rage, of course, but again, because of the creativity, 8, 9, and again, it's just nice to see something a little bit different. So for that, we salute you. Of course, we're not, condoning people to take shits on other people's cars. Just saying, for the sake of creativity, it's something different. You don't see that too often, which is nice. So it's nice to see something that's a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe, oh my goodness me. Oh, the enhanced games just went down, or maybe it's still going. I think it's like a 4-day thing. Enhanced games going down in Las Vegas. So if you like regular sports, and sometimes you saw some of your favorite athletes in regular sports, and you're like, man, I wonder if they're on the juice, if they're juicy, if they're on the testosterone, if they're on that milk, if they're on that sauce, if they're on it. Some of it, some athletes in every sport, I bet, I'm not gonna say who I think or who I don't think is, but elite athleticism does involve a little bit of, I would say, doping in even regular, quote unquote, dubbed regular sports. So it's nice to see that there's an enhanced games happening right now. I believe this is a new thing. We've dreamt about this together. It's come to fruition. Whoever's doing it, fucking let's go. Which basically means your favorite athletes in whatever sport they were doing, they're gonna now take performance enhancing drugs and fucking, I don't even like the term drugs. It's very, it's got negative connotation, and I don't like that. But substances, performance enhancing substances, stimuli, things that we put in our bodies. So yes, do I like it? Yeah, absolutely. Do I want to see these runners just fucking taken off? You know, once the gap pops off in the air and then they take off. They take off so hard that they bleed from their toes. I want to see. Yes, I do want to see that. I don't know what the fastest time for a 100-meter dash is right now. Is it under 9 seconds? Is it under 10 seconds? Who knows? I've not looked it up. But I would like to see just they right there, dude, right at the finish line, bleeding maybe just a little bit from the nips, toes also having left a trail of blood. Swimmers just taking one breath and going and doing maybe like, I don't know, 20 laps, one breath. You know, just this, you know, a female with lungs for days. Lungs for days, Lucy. That's what they'll call her. One breath over, you know, 10, 20 laps, one breath. With one breath, Lucy. One breath, Betty. With a long lungs, the large lung Lucy versus big breath Betty. Oh, beautiful. I would love to see more of it in, of course, soccer. I would like to see it in basketball. I would like to see it in more sports that have contact. In football, I would like to see, you know, football with people with gear, just juice them up. And as they are performing, juice them up with more, just stick it in their neck. Coaches out there with a clipboard and a whistle and just needles, maybe like 4 syringes in each of your hands, just jumping on your athlete's back like a gorilla and just right there in the jugular and in the eyeballs, and then just spank them on their ass and have them run on the field and break through concrete walls. It'll be beautiful to see that. High jumps, people doing high jumps with steroids, jumping and never returning to the earth ever again. It's fascinating to see what the human body is capable of. I like it. I like the whole idea. I believe there is, again, probably a lot of doping going on in regular sports as well. I don't know the stats on it. I would definitely some. It's not none. It's not none. I'll tell you that. It's not none. Something is going on sometimes with some people. Well, I don't want to name drop because I don't have definite, you know, I have my suspicions on some people, but nonetheless, just good to see that there's variety. And sure, you can have, of course, natty sports and enhanced games where people are just fucking, you know, hairy, a little bit redder than usual, bulked up, and, you know, just fast, extremely strong, durable, people who don't break, extremely flexible people, gymnasts who now can just contort, and where they are just, they start with their mouth and just kind of like prolapse from their mouth and turn inside out. That's a reverse prolapse. You don't see that too often, but you can do that probably with steroids. So I'm happy to see that that's happening. So fucking let's go enhanced games, Las Vegas. I believe it's happening for 4 days until the 24th, which is, I believe, tomorrow. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on the dates, but fucking take steroids and enhance your performance today. And it helps with recovery too. God, I can't wait to get my hands on some steroids. One step at a time, and in due time. Right there. What else is going on in and around the world, ladies and gentlemen? Together as the science community, we came together and we said, do you like regular vision? A bunch of us asked that, and we said yes, of course. Who doesn't like regular vision? We were like, do you like superhuman vision? And a lot of us were like, yes, of course. Who doesn't want superhuman vision? Which is why us together, the collective, we came up with the scientific community, we came up with the now infrared contact lenses. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Drum rolls, please. Give us what? Infrared contact lenses. You can now see fucking people with infrared vision with just a contact lens, which is crazy. Who would have thought we would have this technology? But we do, because we did it together. And it's amazing. I like it. It's just a contact lens right now. I'm assuming, you know, of course you could have goggles, but these are contact lenses. You could be walking around seemingly like a normal human being with eyes, but guess what? You might have infrared lenses on it. You might be seeing shit that other people are not seeing, which is pretty fucking dope. So I'd like to get more of that available on the market. But again, this is stuff that is kind of cool, but even cooler down the line, we might fix people who have, or help assist people with color blindness, which is pretty dope. But even doper than that is the ability for us to have access to vision that gives us the ability to see through clothes, which is just the ability to see titties and bush, which is pretty cool. So we are working on that right now. I believe a lot of the funds got sucked up by the whole infrared because a lot of people had to hard time deciding, see-through clothes or infrared. And I guess infrared won because of HR for the time being, but we are working on it, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you right now, free tits, at least visually speaking, for everyone. You get to see them, assess whether who has a bush, who has not got a bush. How many times have you wondered when you're walking down the street, like, does this lady have a bush or not? You wonder to yourself. And these are the questions that keep us all tossing and turning at night. If we could just get a little bit of clarity for once, X-ray vision would be cool. These are all the things that we are working on, but it's, and how far, enhancing how far you could see, contact lenses that could enhance how far you could see. If we could get those kind of like, binoculars, but like right there on your retina, just right there. And then eventually we will get to bionic eyes down the line when we fully, who knows, 50 years from now, 100 years, we should get people bionic eyes. People, I don't know why we don't do it. I don't know why we don't stick people who are missing eyes right now. I don't know why we don't stick, camera lenses in there, or maybe maybe we do, maybe we're not, maybe I'm not aware of it. But we should get, really, and that'll take some getting used to, because you would be typically looking at people's eyes and, admiring their eyes. You've heard the phrase, they say the eyes are the window to the soul of it's like a bedroom, it's like a door to the soul, or, it's like a back door to the soul, or it's like the eyes are the eyes are like the anal opening of the soul. The eyes are your rectum. The eyes are the rectum of the soul. That's what they say. The eyes are the vaginal opening to the soul. They say that. The eyes are like your pee hole. The eyes are your dick hole. To the dick hole of your soul. They say that. People say that, of course, all the time. But nonetheless, if we could see further, it would be pretty cool, which begs the old question of, would you have regular eyes, which you already do, or would you opt for bionic eyes, which could see fucking, all the way into space, just regular head, no gear on, just, your eyes, of course, replaced with a bionic eye, and you could see into space. That'd be pretty cool. A little bit terrifying, not gonna lie to you. If you can see infrared, X-ray vision, extremely far, and see into space, see asteroids flying by. That might freak us out initially, but nonetheless, yes, our vision is decent as it is for human species. It is still very limited in a lot of things we don't see. So I'd like to see some more. So I'm happy to see that we collectively, as the scientific community, came together and decided to make infrared contact lenses. Now, if you could speak with your local start talking to your local candidates about raising enough funds so that we could get those lenses made for the see through the clothing, so for the tits. If we could, I know, you would have thought we'd have that before the infrared, but priorities. I'm not responsible for what gets made or what doesn't, but I'm just saying we could do more together, ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on? I just want to say the 2020s, if it's going to be remembered for one thing or some things, 5 things or 10 things, we're going to look back at one point, and say, what were the 2020s? What was one of the main features of the 2020s? You might, back in the 1920s, you might say a few things, maybe like, certain kind of music, certain kind of dressing. People wore hats. People wore more hats. People were drinking, and then it became criminal to drink, and that sucked. And then that gave way to prohibition, gave way to who knows, all sorts of underworld, underground criminal enterprises that came about. All these things that we could say with the 1920s or 30s, and people will say these things, and then we'll look back at the 2020s and we'll say, what was the one feature of the 2020s? And we could, surely by now it's 2025, and it's been happening more and more, and it keeps happening. Planes, air flight is becoming, it used to mean one thing. It used to have a sense of like, you're going away, you're purchasing a ticket for wherever, whether long distance or short distance, you're getting on an airplane. It's kind of fancy. It was an experience that people loved and enjoyed. Families took vacations together. Businessmen got on planes with their business suits and one modest briefcase or backpack or suitcase, and They prepared to go away for a few days. They got on a plane wearing a suit and they smoked on a plane with a nice lady who served them a drink, cleavage and all. And maybe a young lady sat beside them and they chatted it up, and they might have even hooked up on or off the plane, doesn't matter. It was romantic. You know, the whole take me to the moon and all that. Take me to the moon. That old song. All of it was beautiful. It was a whole dream. But now, and it was relatively safe. Rarely did you hear of any crashes. But in the 2020s, it's become very common. And again, just in San Diego, I believe yesterday, or maybe, I think it happened yesterday. Recent, very recent. This is fucking fresh. Another plane crashed in San Diego. I believe, I'm not quite sure how many people were on board. Try to figure it out. They said 6 to 10. I believe there were only 6. It was a private plane. The Cessna 550 or the Cessna 500, I don't know what this plane is. It's a private plane, it's a smaller plane, but nonetheless it crashed. Some people died, not quite sure the numbers, so rest in peace to those who passed away, but also just questions in general. Why are there so many planes crashing in the 2020? What is causing all the planes to crash? Planes crashing, helicopters crashing, ships and boats fucking doing weird shit, submarines sinking and shit. There's another large ship, I forget where, in Norway. I think a giant ship just like washed on somebody's backyard, just a large cargo ship. Just like, what is with the weird activities with, you know, aircraft, you know, whether there's airplanes, helicopters, drones, what is up with everything? It's just questions, weird sus activity sometimes. And some of it might be just randomness of, you know, whatever issues, whether it's mechanical or air but it's just been happening a lot. 2020s are going to be, remember, for many things. One of them is going to be weird sus airplane activities. I don't know exactly who was on the plane. I always, you know, nowadays I'm always like, was anybody on the plane that was maybe connected to anything that needed to be kind of kept on the hush hush? Was anybody? And I don't know. I don't know exactly who was on the plane. I believe some people connected to the music industry. I think it's music industry people, a drummer from a rock band, a record company executive person, co-founder, also passed away. Was there anybody else on that plane that needed to be, you know, or were they just regular working people who had just regular beautiful lives? Was it? Who knows? But one thing I guess we need a rebranding. So forget everything you knew about planes and traveling and whatnot. You know, what used to be a very relatively luxurious experience for most people, or, you know, something different, has become very mundane, ordinary, and gone down in quality. So flying might have been, you know, fly with us and fly with safety. That might have been like a slogan. But now we could say, hey, take flights at your own risk. You might land, you might not land. And we can sell flights with more like an excitement angle. We could be like, do you like playing Russian roulette? Then you might enjoy flying. We could sell it like that. Do you enjoy having a lot of adrenaline when taking flight, not knowing whether or not you're gonna land? Well, take flight with, and then put in a company name for it, or just flight. If big flight can just come in and say a message, just commercially, you know, you might land, you might not land. Show a couple of planes landing, show a couple of planes exploding, just so exposure, so that people know what to expect. It's not just to get on and take off and then land safely anymore. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't have the answers. I'd like to find out more. Who knows? Just such weird shit with airplanes recently. We can all agree that it's not what it used to be for some odd reason. Who knows? Passengers, were they all just regular gooch people, or did somebody, you know, and I'm not saying any because I don't know. I could have just been regular good folks, but who knows? Airplane safety going down, but that's something we could celebrate perhaps and sell as a selling point. Be a risk taker in 2025. Don't just be a regular fucking, you know, person who goes around life not experiencing a little bit of excitement. Fly with us and put your life in our hands and see what we'll do with it. Guaranteed to have a lot of fun. And they do say large amounts of adrenaline and serotonin and dopamine is just pumped through your body, and you might even have like never experienced DMT, but I've heard extremely intense near-death experiences might put you through that. So you might get to, and if you live, it's like a DMT trip, which is nice to have without, I guess, taking the DMT, but who knows? We need to just rebrand these flights and traveling in general. More people need to travel, but also we need to make it cool so that if it's not landing, it's not a big deal. We need to normalize landing. Anybody can land a plane. Anyone can land it. We've done it a million times, but try not landing. It's a new way of flying. Try not landing. It's a new way of flight. Fly with us. Boeing, whatever the fuck. Or I don't know any other airplane manufacturer, who knows? Who knows what's going on? I'm intrigued. Of course, rest in peace to the people who lost their lives. Sucks and damaged a whole lot of houses and it sucks. Those all suck. But let's try to rebrand flights is what I'm trying to say. Be a little bit more positive with the negative outcomes. I guess another thing that we are trying to do, which is, yes, this goes hand in hand with the San Diego plane crash. I did also read that there are new flights taking the traveling experience to new heights by offering standing only seats. That's right. We are cutting the costs and giving you standing only seats, which means you're not going to be, from 2026, some airlines are going to be providing you with standing only seats, which should just say standing, no seats, just standing flights is what you should call them. It's like extremely weird looking seats that kind of have you like, it's not a full 90-degree angle squat. It's kind of like standing against a wall squat, but you're not even going. It's a weird thing. It's nice in terms of cutting costs. The flights will be much cheaper. So that's one thing. If you're like, oh, things are getting expensive due to whatever reason, this is one way that you could have yourself saving a couple of dollars, and you can stand on. You know how much you love standing on planes. Haven't you always wished you could stand in the plane? Yeah, totally. All of us always wished we'd switch the seats for just standing. Ever go through turbulence and kind of shit yourself while seated? Well, those days are gone. Definitely experience shitting yourself while going through turbulence by trying standing only flights. Ever puke sitting down in an airplane? How uncomfortable was that? Try an even more uncomfortable puking experience by standing in only flights. That's right, fly with us and stand and puke. Of course, this is a way to save money, and I guess it'll start with like shorter trips, but down the line, we'll just get rid of the whole seating arrangement. The way, if you really want to just save money, let's just fucking cut to the chase. If you want to stop beating around the bush, if this is about money, I say we just empty it out, make it a cargo plane, put people in like cattle, because at the end of the day, some say that the human species, they say the earth might be a farm. Some say that, who knows? We too might be animals, like we are, of course, but in another, like, who knows? Just cattle, just open the large cargo door, shove everybody in as much as possible. I say, because that's the thing, nowadays, you're like, oh, how many people can fit in the flight, depending, maximum capacity. If you take out the seats, you can actually jam more people in. The seats weigh maybe just as much as the people with the metal parts and the plastic and everything. It's probably, you can put more people, cram more people, stack them on top of one another. That's what I say. That's how you really save money. Just jam everybody on top of one another, and you could, like sardines, really just jam people extremely cheap, way more, and nobody's gonna get up and go to the bathroom. Just urinate and relieve your bowel movements anywhere you happen to be stacked. It doesn't matter. We can just hose you down as you're getting off the plane. But guess what? It'll save you a couple of dollars. We're not wasting money on food. And because we crammed everybody in, like it's maxed out, there's no room to, it's like a Lego, it's your Legos and your Tetris in there. You're not going, you're locked in. If you do get any turbulence, you're not gonna feel like this shaking and you're gonna be stuck in one place. Think about that. And you're like, oh, I can't stand it when my foot falls or my leg falls asleep when I'm on a plane and it sucks because I can't move my leg, your entire body is gonna go numb. You're not gonna feel a thing. It's gonna feel like pins and needles inside your entire body. But once we really crunch the numbers and really try to cut costs and increase quality and by the increased quality I mean make quality different, make the definition of quality something different and get people used to it. But we will do that, I'm telling you right now. And down the line we could just put humans in blenders, just press the spin cycle on a really fast, like the third spin cycle of the blender, blend people chunky, not too smooth, put them in a mug, put them in a jar, lit it up, put it in a package, have the people go from A to B like a package, just that would be. And you're like, oh, what about people handling, are they gonna write, sensitive material or, delicate material or fragile material on the shipment because I'm a human, treat me with respect and all. Don't worry about our staff members. These guys are gonna be long gone by then. You'll be handled by robots who will just take you and dump you from A to B. Fly with us, cheaper, faster, and you might or might not get there. Flights in the 2020s, flying, never been the same, never been better. It's different. What else is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I do want to say this one is, many people are wondering, I believe President Trump just went down to I think he went down to South Africa. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I think he did. I'm going to say it feels right inside. And one topic came about, and it's just, let's just figure it out together as much as we can just figure it out right here and wrap it up like we do like many things, but also leave it open-ended so that we can always contribute more and learn more and do more together. White genocide is a thing. It's a new thing, or it's been a thing. Maybe it's been a thing. It's now gaining. This is the question I like to put forth for everyone, and myself included, trying to figure it out. Is there enough room in the genocide pie to go around for everyone, or are we going to be stingy with who gets a genocide and who doesn't get a genocide? I am of the school that says there is plenty to go around for anyone and everyone. So yes, we're not going to sit here, or we're standing, but are we going to ask ourselves which is, are we going to start ranking the genocides as to which is the best genocide, which one's been historically, what are we looking for? Are we looking for numbers, quantity, or quality? Are we, these are all the things that we're thinking about these days. But yeah, white genocide, I say it could be a thing. It is a thing. Let's make it a thing together. I say there is enough genocide pie to go around for everyone. Let's not be stingy and be like only a particular group of people get to have their genocide. That's a very glass half full mentality. That's a very finite point of view where there's not enough resources for everyone to have their genocide. It's 2025, people. We can have it all. We could have it all. So here, together, let's make a stance. I believe in white genocide. I think it's a good thing in terms great in terms of I support it is what I'm supporting. We want it. We want white genocide. All right, because other people get to have it. We get to have it. Not me personally, but we collectively get to. It's yes to white genocide. In support of raising awareness for more white genocide. These are all the things that it's just because you're other people have definitely been genocided. Of course, you might have had the indigenous people genocide. You might have had the Jewish people went through a genocide. You might have had the Turks and the a lot of Armenians experienced genocide. So different people throughout history. If you want to take it way back, for a little bit, just the Mongols went through a lot of the world and did genociding and also spreading genes. That was a whole So a lot of the Maoist government got in there and just maybe genocided their own And it's Stalin, when their genocide, it's throughout history, we could probably look back. We've definitely, but we've never, I guess we've never, at least I'm not aware of it, but it's time, is what I'm trying to say. There's plenty of genocide pie to go around for everyone. Yes, yes to white genocide, yes, is what we're, right? It's what we're trying to do together, right? Yes, dude, I'm in support of whatever, in terms, like, there's enough for everyone. That's what I say, man. There's enough for everybody. Don't be all like, you know, oh, this is we gotta hog all the old genocide for ourselves. Man, plenty to go for everybody. Could have it. Open your eyes. There's unlimited resources for everyone. Everyone can have their genocide. Doesn't matter if you're white or black or yellow or purple or green. It doesn't matter. We're all one. Everyone deserves to have whatever the other. We all deserve the good things together. We want it, I think, to have it. I'm here for it. I'm saying I'm supporting it. But just like I know you're supporting it too. So good to all of us be supporting and supportive of each other. Ladies and gentlemen, Jew killer, you went and did something horrible. Jew killer, did something really bad. Jew killer, we don't want you here no more. Jew killer, there's only hate in your heart. Jew killer, get out of here. Don't stay here no more. Jew killer. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe, again, maybe yesterday or the day before, is very recently, I believe it was embassy staff members, Jewish embassy staff members were shot in Washington, D.C., 2 of them, young couple, and we need to fucking, the world needs to come together. We need to spread more love. I believe, and the way to do that is through nothing spreads more love like politics and just really large, you know, old school legacy media or like traditional. Nothing spreads love like media and politics. So we need to somehow spread more love through politics and the media and really get people to come close together. I believe here's the thing. Of course, this is not good. It's not good when, you know, acts of hatred happen towards anybody. But of course, this is, again, it's anti-Semitic, which we don't stand for here. So fucking, we need to again make. I'll say this: make commercials, movies about perhaps somebody going down the wrong path, and then maybe like we could be like, here, let's just do it together right now. Oh, I know what the number one cause of everything in the world is. It says guy one, guy A comes in. I know what's wrong with the world. It's the Jews. Guy B enters. No, homie, it's not the Jews. It's not correct to think that it's just one group of people who, quote unquote, run the world. That doesn't make any sense, says guy B to guy A. Then what is it? Then if it's not the Jews, then what is it? Says guy A. Guy B comes in, says there's a lot of good people on every side. Guy A. You see, there's a lot of good people and some bad people everywhere too. And it doesn't make sense to overgeneralize and just say Jews as a whole together, they to run or control the world and like it's their fault. It doesn't make any sense. So, and that's right. It's like saying all Catholics run the world. Then that doesn't make sense either. Like all Muslims run the world. It doesn't make. It's just an easy answer. And it's like, so don't go down that path, guy. Hey, thanks for clearing this up, man. Really helped me see the world through a new lens. Guy A, guy B, high five, and go off to 69 with women in the wild. That could be one way of tackling things. It's one of those, it sucks, but I believe, again, through more politics and more of the media flaming all sides, I think we can all reach more levels of understanding and have more love and compassion for one another. 3, again, getting more politics in the traditional media that fans various sides and just, heightens tensions and does a lot of more. So it's good. Things are overall very good. But we do need to be also, fucking, Jew hater, get out of here. Right there, dude. Right there. Say no to hate in terms of like for everyone. Say no to hate, but also be supportive of one another's causes. Ladies and gentlemen, this one fucking breaks my heart, because I'll tell you what, there have been, get a sip of this for a second. There are many people that come and go throughout history, and they may be dictators or despots or authoritarian kings or just dictators or whatever, or figures in power and throughout history, and they all come and go. One of them is right now. It's in our beautiful world right now, and he happens to be. Say what you say about his politics. Say what you say about him in terms of whatever, thoughts you might have in terms of, I'm talking about North Korea. I'm talking about Kim Jong-un. Say whatever you want to say about him. I believe, just by merit itself, he is the cutest, most adorable looking dictator of all dictators. They're all known for different things throughout history, modern ones as well. They're all different for different reasons. But just objectively looking at his, just overall, Kim Jong-un is adorable. If you know what I mean? Adorable. And it sucks. It sucks because recently North Korea just was about to launch a warship, which may have been later on used to, who knows, put nukes on the warship, or who knows, missiles on the warship. They were about to launch this nuke, or rather launch this. I do want to take the no launching of a nuke. That's just a little slip of the old tongue. Don't want anybody to fucking panic or anything. But nonetheless, a warship was about to be launched. It didn't launch properly. It fucked up. They fucked up. Whoever was it. And it just sucks, because this beautiful, adorable man just want to grab his cheeks and just want to fucking hang with him, because he's so adorable looking. It's like one of the cutest dictators. You cannot tell, and I don't know if it's because it might be a Korean thing. You might have it down. You might have figured out the most cute, adorable looking dictator. Like, that's, who comes even close? Who's the most adorable dictator of all time, right up until now? There's nobody else that comes close to him. And it breaks my heart that his heart is broken because of the warship launching got fucked up. And now whatever we got to do is what I'm trying to tell you. Whatever we can do together to raise awareness so that we could give somehow this adorable man and the military gear that he wears, the outfits, just his fascination with Western pop culture, just an overall cute, adorable dictator. It doesn't matter though. The warship, it kind of I don't know if it's skidded to the side. It's ruined. It sucks now. They're gonna have to go back and work on a lot more. So whatever we need to do to be supportive of this adorable, beautiful dictator, and just maybe if it's funds, if it's resources, if it's more engineers to go and help with the creating of the warship, if it's materials. I don't know. Do does he need to crack the whip more so on the workers who are not fucking thinking properly about important North Korean, nationalistic, important, procedures, and just overall, and the war is a big thing for them. They like it. I'd love to visit one day. I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. But nonetheless, a huge fan of the adorableness and the cuteness of I'm telling you, just to rank it, who comes even close in terms of adorability and the cuteness ability? No one. I can't think of anyone. but that's just me. You might have your top 5 picks as well. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that happened. So yeah, just to raise awareness, if we could get money and funds so that he could have a better worship, please. Lastly, I'd like to just take a moment and say a little shout out to my nigga over there in North Carolina, holding it down, James. I forget how to pronounce your last name. I want to say Pullman. Pullman? I might be fucking up your last name completely right now. I do apologize. Nonetheless, my nigga holding it down right there in the North Carolinas. A hero. One man versus 100 gorillas. You might have heard that one in the not so distant past, but recently this real live man got tested by having nature throw a wild coyote at him. A coyote versus one man, and our man out there went out there like a soldier, and he just fucking took that coyote, and I don't know what he did to him, but he did in the meeting he did end up getting got bit by the old coyote. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, right there, cracked the old neck and just put him to sleep. You go down now. Humanity wins. Humanity wins. Right there, son. Right there. So anybody who out there is thinking, oh, one man, how many men does it take to take down a coyote? The answer has been revealed or answered. It's out there. So shout out to James, doing it in North Carolina. You too, if you see, again, I've said it before, man, I'm telling you right now, it's just the mindset. Any wild animal, any man or woman, engage first. Sure, you might get bitten, you might lose some body parts, but at the end of the day, if you fucking become, it's like watching the Gladiator movie all over again, but way different. It's like completely different. Nothing really in terms, just more so of just adversity, life or death situation, and coming out on top, like the way Gladiator did in the first one. He came out on top, right? It's been a while, to be honest with you. It's been a while. I think he came out, I'm just going to remember it. He came out on top, right? He went back to his family completely okay after winning his freedom. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, everything works out in fictitious stories and non-fictitious stories always. So remember that. Until next time, peace out. Get out of here.